Change of scenery! Hey everybody, we're back with drama reviews for the month of May. Yay! Let's get cracking. The first show that we have on the list for today is Blood. Now, Blood, as you may or may not be able to figure out, is about vampires. A particular set of vampires in this case, and there's one guy who's trying to free himself of his curse. Now, Blood, in my opinion, had a lot of great things going for it. It was about vampires. I am not yet sick of vampires because of the whole Twilight thing. I still think they have a lot of potential, especially in like a K-drama's hands. You expect a lot from something when they're working with vampires. Unfortunately, despite this, it's almost like the show had no plot. It was about vampires. They could have done so much with it, and it's like these people didn't even need to be vampires. Like, they almost did absolutely nothing with it. So that was kind of frustrating for me because I was really looking forward to how they would use vampires in the drama. This guy did okay. Sorry, I don't know his name. I'll have to see him in something else to know for sure whether or not I really like him. The female lead, she was the main lead in Boys Over Flowers, and she was like completely different, so I didn't even realize that it was the same person until I think I looked it up. And then I'm like, whoa, it's the same chick? Oh, she's grown a lot as probably an actor and a person, so it was fun watching her. She was interesting. A little weird at first, but then after a while she kind of grew on you. Overall, the drama was pretty slow and uneventful. There was a lot of talk about the science side of being a vampire. There was action, but there could have been a lot more action, and it could have been more topical. Even though the drama was pretty boring and slow, there was one shocker in there where I was like, what? I was totally in denial for like 20 minutes after I saw it. I'm like, no, there's no way that actually happened. But despite that one thing, the drama was really slow, and I was so sad because I really wanted it to be everything that I thought it would be. I would also have to say that the end was a bit muddied. I'm not quite sure if it concluded or not. It was the first drama I watched, so I'm a little fuzzy on exactly what happened, but I don't think it concluded as well as it could have either. Unfortunately, Blood, if you happen to love it, I'm sorry, but for me it's a 2 out of 5. It had so much potential and they just dropped the ball big time. Next up, I have a little quickie. It's not even really a drama. I think it's broken up into a bunch of episodes, but altogether it's maybe 2.5 hours long. The name of it is Aftermath, and it's about a boy who gets into like an accident, and afterwards he can see whether people are going to die or not. He has sort of like a premonition, but it's not quite a premonition. I watched it because it seemed interesting. And it was also really short, and I didn't really have anything else to watch at the time, so I watched it. I don't think you can download it, but you can watch it on sites like Drama Fever and probably Viki. If you have a little bit of time, I say why not? It's not that long. Overall, the drama was pretty, in a word, disturbing. The drama was a little unsettling. Anyway, the plot was really interesting, but because they chopped it up a bit, I think that a lot has to be presumed and some of it gets lost in translation. But overall, I mean, if you're looking for a time killer or you're looking for something to watch like outside of the house and you don't like watching like your good dramas unless the conditions are perfect, I would say give this one a shot. Like if you're at a bus stop or waiting for a train or something to that effect, Aftermath was good in that sense. It was short and you could take it in little bites, and why not? Again, it was pretty disturbing and kind of scary at times, but overall it was alright. Because the drama was so short and there's not much to rate it on, I also gave this one a 2 out of 5. They could have lengthened it. If it were a full drama, maybe it would be a little bit higher, but it would all depend on where they went with it. The next drama on the list is actually an older drama, and I've already seen it. It's Secret Garden. Yay! I did a rewatch of Secret Garden because it had been so long since I'd seen it, so I'd forgotten just about everything. And I remember you know, you remember bits and pieces of it, but not the whole thing, and you know that overall it was good, so you're like, well, let me just rewatch it and remind myself why it was good. Well, that's what I did with Secret Garden. Secret Garden holds up. It's one of those classic dramas where when people are just starting to get into K-dramas and they're looking for recommendations of what to watch, Secret Garden's one of those titles that people throw out there. They're like, watch this, and Coffee Prince, and Goon, and My Name is Kim Samsoon, and all of those dramas, Boys Over Flowers, and Secret Garden. Secret Garden. Yeah. I remember when I first watched the drama, it throws you through a loop at one point. You figure it's a completely normal drama, and it totally could have been. Like, they could have just gone with the plot, and it still would have been just as interesting, but they threw this really like crazy plot mechanic, and it totally catches you by surprise, and you're like, what? And I'll tell you now, there's a little bit of like fantasy, like fiction in there, because obviously this sort of thing can't happen, but it made it more interesting. It was like you had something that was already good, and then you threw something in there that didn't necessarily make it bad. It wasn't something that needed to happen, but it was still just as interesting. It was like take something that was super great and then throwing something in there to make it even better, even though the super greatness was already super great. After seeing a bunch of K-dramas since I had last seen Secret Garden, like way back when, I didn't realize exactly how many different people were in it. Like, I'm like, oh, look at all these faces that I now recognize from the slew of other dramas I've seen. This is really an all-star cast now. All of these people are doing dramas left and right, and you can pick them out of at least a few of them. As I've already said, Secret Garden is really a classic drama. If you haven't seen it, I can't imagine you haven't, but if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Like, it's definitely one of the greats. It's Hyunbin and, oh, her name I don't know, but she's also a great actress. The plot is great. It's like when you're born rich and all you know is this aristocratic life, and all of a sudden you're interested in other social rankings, you're totally behind yourself, and there's a culture shock for you. I don't want to explain too much of it because I don't want to ruin it. If you haven't seen it, again, it's probably the rare individual who's into K-dramas and hasn't seen it. Go see it. I mean, it's worthy of a rewatch every now and then to just brush up on it. Naturally, Secret Garden is a 5 out of 5 because it's timeless. Timeless. Okay, last but not least on the list, we have the drama Spy. It was one of those under the radar dramas, so I had to go search it out. It's a drama about a family. The whole family gets caught up in this spy business between North and South Korea. I know it sounds kind of boring and very political, but I assure you it's not. I watched this drama because of Jaejoon! Yay! According to the subtitles, whoever subtitles I grabbed, this is Jaejoon's last drama before he enlists in the army, which is kind of sad. I'm really glad that I saw this drama for a few reasons. Now, I'm sure I've said before, but I like TVXQ and JYJ and them as the 5 in their separate groups. I like them all individually, so I like them all in whatever combination they come in. It would be nice if they were 5 again, but I won't hold my breath. I'm going to talk about Jaejoon for a little bit because I can. When TVXQ was the 5, Jaejoon was my favorite. I really liked him way, like, leagues more than the other members. And then they split, and Changmin and Yuno went one way, and Jaejoon, Junsu, and Yuchun went the other way, and after that, in my opinion, Jaejoon kind of went downhill. He seemed unhealthy and a little depressed, and like his face was really sunken in. If you watch his dramas before this, like the dramas in between Protect the Boss and Spy, especially, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Three Brothers or something like that. It's about 3 brothers, and he was one of the brothers. He looked, I know part of it was probably the character, but his face was all sunken in, and he seemed really unhealthy and strung out and just tired all the time, and it was kind of hard to watch because when you really like Jaejoon and he doesn't seem healthy, all you're wishing is that he would take care of himself better. And then in this drama, I am happy to report that he looks so much healthier. His face is glowing, it's not as sunken in, he seems well rested and like he's eating, and so it was really nice to see that he has come around to be what he is now. Like it was really nice to see that. The plot Generally when things involve politics and like things between North and South Korea, it can get a little boring. I'm in it for the feels, and politics typically do not involve the feels, so I tend to avoid politically enriched dramas. When you're watching a drama that has no politics and all of a sudden the politics come in, just like, ugh. I'm glad to say that in this drama, the politics and the North and South don't really exist. It's really just about that particular clump of people, not necessarily the general picture. There's a lot of like lying and spying, and again, it's all there's maybe one political figure that you see in the entire series, and you only see him every once in a while, and he's just there as a catalyst and a reason for the characters to do what they're doing. You don't have to worry about the drama being too political or getting boring in that respect, because it doesn't. They could have totally messed it up and made it super boring, but they didn't. I will say that there was one part that totally cracked me up. Okay, this is my phone. I'm using it right now. It says recorder. But this is my phone, and it's very similar to the phones that they were using in the drama, probably a plug. As you can see, this is the upside of the phone. The phone is up, and then in the back there's the camera. So at one point in the drama, the bad guy, the super bad guy that you're supposed to be super scared of the entire time, is talking on the phone, and then you see him on the phone like this, and I'm like, oh, look, the camera is down here, which means he's totally holding the phone upside down. And I noticed it, and I busted out laughing. Oh my goodness, it was hilarious. I'm like, look at this guy, he's so scary, he doesn't know how to hold a phone. He just turned into like the stereotypical older person who doesn't know how to use technology. I'm sure he could hold a gun, no problem, but that just cracked me up. So Spy was really good, a pleasant surprise. It's not as good as, you know, some of the dramas I've seen in my life, but I'd say it's a solid 3.5 out of 5. Like, it was really interesting, and again, I'm pleased with the fact that they could have messed it up and made it unbelievably boring, and they didn't. They did a great job to keep it localized and just within that group of people, so you were always interested. Spy, go ahead and see it. If you have nothing, I mean, I had nothing else to watch, so I'm like, might as well watch Spy, and it ended up being a pleasant surprise. So that's it. Those are all of the dramas that I've watched for the month of May. Technically I watched one more, but we'll include that next month. So you do get a guaranteed sensory couple in there next month. I did not mean to watch a bunch of JYJ dramas in a row. You better believe that for some reason I just discovered the song Fever by Junsu, and that's on my playlist. I'm listening to that like at least once a day. So there's a lot of JYJ going on right now. Thanks for watching. If you want to see last month's reviews, they're up here somewhere, probably, if I remember to do it. Sometimes I don't. I will definitely see you next month, and also I will be going to KCON. They've announced a lot of stuff regarding KCON, so I'll be making a few KCON videos as well. See you around. Keep watching.